guys, I think I'm live. I think the microphone's plugged in. Let me adjust the camera slightly. God, it's made me really dark again, hasn't it? Hey. Let me just, I'm looking down for some reason. Let's move you up a bit. Why did I do that when I could have just moved the webcam? But it would have made so much more sense just to move the webcam. Webcam? Oh, God. Let's turn the contrast down. There we go. No. That'll do. That'll do. Okay. So, I have a confession to make. I completely forgot about the live feed. So, yeah, that was fun. Hi. So I'm trying to decide whether I do a marker base. Hi. Whether I do a marker base. So use the, you can't see because I'm right in the way. There we go. I'll shrink me down actually. I seem to be quite massive on the screen, which I don't need to be. Yeah, so I'll either do a marker base because I know a few of you have been interested in finding out about that. Although I am quite limited. I'm not on those though, actually. Or we just go straight in with standard pencils. But I'm going to be freehanding this. So while I try and figure out what I'm actually going to be doing, let's just get some drawing done. I could never forget about my arty family, but I can totally forget that I should have been online and ready and setting up about 10 minutes before I did. And then I literally, because the girls were playing really nicely and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to see if I can sneak in and get some video editing done. And I managed to do a voiceover for the helium balloons. And by the time I did that, recorded, and while it was exporting, I thought, right, I'll get the girls up to bed and we have to do their reading and everything at night. And it wasn't until Amelie was going on about her spellings, I was like, crap, it's Wednesday. And yeah, I still just got my days mixed up, which really isn't hard right now. So you can see the picture in the reference. We can't see much of the branch that he's sat on, but I'm just going to draw the basic shapes at the moment. I don't know how well you're going to see the line work. I've got to be careful I don't go too big because I have a bit of a habit of doing that. Got quite an oval body, isn't he? And we've got the wing that sort of flips out here, and then his tail. So I'm just drawing really, I don't know how well you can see that, I'm just drawing really basic shapes right now. See if I can turn that down. Can you see that? Not really. I've never done them before, if I'm perfectly honest, but if you want me to mention you on the video, certainly happy to. Okay. Hi, Rob. Erica and Rob. Okay, I'm putting my grown-up hat on now. Some of the new watchers are going to be coming over from TikTok. Please bear in mind that a massive portion of TikTokers are young. So, good behaviour, please. Make sure. Okay, so and then we've got, what have we got? We've got it about here from the tail, haven't we? And then we've got it there, and it slightly jars out a little bit. hate drawing the feet. Right, let's refine because I'm just drawing stick birds right now. So we want to come forward a little bit on that face. Okay, they've got such small beaks, haven't they? I wasn't expecting them to have such tiny beaks. Hi Pam, hopefully you enjoyed it. Hi. So who have we got? We've got Joanne, we've got Erica, we've got Fuzzy Bear Squad, Vicky, hi. We got Robin, hi. Rob and Pam and Tick Mix, is that right? Tick Mikes? Might have got that the wrong way. So I want to try and get the shape of the body correct first because the shape will determine that I get the eye in the right place. And he's a really plump one that I've chosen, and I've done that for a reason, and I don't know, I quite enjoy. They remind me of my, when I do the illustrative birds. So the beak is slightly turned up. I'm not looking for absolute precision here because that I'll do when it comes to the rendering, but right now we're... So if I look at his red portions, his red portion is roughly, I say red, it's actually orange. I've never understood why they call it a robin redbreast when actually the majority of the time they're orange. Again, I'm not looking for precision, I'm just looking for a rough outline because that will help me guide to where the eye will be. So looking at that, we're looking at here. The easiest way to do that is just draw a circle and then a couple of triangles on either side. I think his beak needs to... Eye looks too small now. Right, see now I can see that the portion of the top of the head is too tall, so we can just bring that down. They do, actually, don't they? Oh, good, good. I'm glad you found it useful. Okay, let's call it that. Right. Okay, so he's got his real proud chest. I'm quite tempted to make it even prouder, but I don't want it to look stupid, so we'll go with roughly what I see here. And feel free to get your sketchbooks and pencils and just practice the shapes that I've put down. The reference is from Pixabay. Round his bottom off a bit more. So we've got quite a chunk of shadow and bits in here. I actually need to bring his red further across, and then his brown. So they're like a brown and grey. I just hope I get these eyes right because it drives me crazy if I can't get the eyes right. So I'll zoom in when I come to do that. So let's get this beak sorted out. Beaks never go in, or certainly I've never seen any, where they literally just go in a basic triangle. They tend to come up and then tip down at the bottom. And that's the one that sort of sits above. And then the one that sits below is the one that sort of comes up and joins up underneath. So bear that in mind if you look at doing any birds in the future, that it's not just this basic closed triangle. I think we've pretty much got the basics down. I think I'm going to deal with the legs later because we're never going to get down that far on tonight's speed anyway. So let's put the markers back. I'm sat here with my blanket on and a warm cup of coffee ready for a nice keep me warm because it's freezing in the den. You could have used... Oh, I didn't know that. I'll remember that next time. I probably scrolled past it. I did choose 3 to sort of pick from, but I found it quite hard to decide, and I know that if I roll it out to you guys, I'm going to have about 6 different answers, so I just made the executive decision and decided to do this one. So let's just zoom you in. What I'll do is I'll erase the pencil as we go. Let's sort this camera out. Let's get you zoomed in. Oh, I nearly thought I lost you then. Okay. Zoom in on his eye. So we are going to want dark indigo. I want cold grey. I've got 3, but I'll probably want 1 actually, 1 or 2. I'm going to be a bit naughty basically, and the cold grey 1 I will use to blend out the dark indigo. I've got to remember to keep my pencils separate from the Patreon because I don't want to get them mixed up. Oh, okay. I'll keep an eye next time. Right, this eye is tiny, so we're not going to get a huge amount of detail in there, so I'll try my best. We need to alter where these triangles sit, so I'll do that as we go. Right, can you see that well enough? Is that a good enough view? Right, if the camera goes dead, stay with me. I'm just going to try and move the angle slightly so my hand doesn't constantly get in the way. There we go, that's better. Okay, top layer of cold grey 1. I'll have to sit back and listen to the live feed to go through the numbers unless somebody is, or should I just swatch them? Let's just swatch it, shall we? Cold grey 1, dark indigo, black. Cold grey 1, dark indigo, oh, black. If you're new to watching me and you haven't watched me before, I'm using the polychromos and I tend to use them most of the time. So if you're wondering what I'm using, that's pretty much it. So I'm using dark indigo at the moment to do the eye. Cover the whole of that bottom. Try and get the shape in now. I'm not going to be overly fussy and worried about getting tons of layers in today. Just wanted to get a nice, easy to follow tutorial really. So I'm just going over with the black now. Then we're going to go over again with the dark indigo. Now I'm going to use the cold grey one to push or force the dark indigo out into the lighter area, and it gives it a much softer blend. There already, just from doing that, it's made it look a lot more 3D. So you get a much softer blend when you do that push out. So for those who worry quite often about your drawings getting muddy or dirty, it's not actually always a problem. Sometimes it can work to your advantage. So, you know, just don't worry. Sometimes it's not a problem. Now, so far, every type of bird I have drawn has this pattern around their eyes. And if I can bring my phone over, you'll see this patterning where you get almost like the feather lines in there. And I've noticed that that's pretty much on every bird I've drawn so far. So remember to add that in if you get a bit of time. If you... I don't know what I'm trying to say. If it's not too small and you've got the space to add it, I would look at adding it, because it would work out actually quite beneficial. So, and it really does add to the effect. So I'm reckoning I have brought my whole trolley of pencils over because I'm not 100% sure what colours I want to be using right now. And to be honest, I think most of them are still there from the parrot. So this is light cadmium red, and I'm just going to do a light... I need to get rid of that pencil line. I'm just going to do a light layer, wash, whatever you want to call it, first. I do mean a light wash. I'm not going in heavy at all because I want to go in with a yellow, I think. I want to go in with a yellow. Or do I want to go in with a warm grey? Or do I want to go in with an ochre? Decisions. I know I should have left these over here. There's my ochre. No, there's my ochre. I have a feeling we're going to be using the ochre quite a lot. Okay, I'm going to burnish quite early because I'm impatient, basically, and I'm going to do that with an ivory. I'm only going to do it around the inner part of the eye. Got a little bit rough there. Okay, so I'm going to now take my ochre and just start putting in some of those lines. And the reason I'm doing it with the ochre is so I don't go in too dark too quickly. Don't really need many on the top, it's mainly on the bottom. Okay, so I have a feeling, right, hang on, I'm not swatching these, am I? Okay, it's burnt ochre, light cad orange, and ivory. It's probably used the ivory quite a lot for blending. I want to try and avoid the luminance today. And I think we're going to bring in the burnt umber. Get that ready. And warm grey 2, is that, I think? Yep, 2. I'm getting there. Okay, so we want it nice and light up the back here. And then I'm going to start really refining that eye at the back, getting the shape of the eyelid around the outside. So I've just used black for the top. I'm using dark indigo from the bottom. And I'm just pulling the dark indigo down into where those feather lines are. And my cold grey one, I'm just going to go over the top because it's much lighter on the bottom than it is on the top. So when I come in with the black again, I can just refine it all out a bit more. And we pretty much have an eye there done. Okay, there's not tons of information, so I think the best thing to do actually first is his beak. Hi John, welcome over to the YouTube. Yeah, I did my first TikTok live today. I've never done one before, but I think these sort of lives you can't really do on TikTok easily. I need to have a bit of a play. But yeah, it was quite fun. I'm totally new to TikTok, so it's been an interesting learning curve, to say the least. So dark indigo. And I would put dark indigo on the top as well. One of the tricks too, if something is of the same hue or just very slightly different in the tonal value, then stick to the colour that you've got, because the beak is this colour full stop. But what you want to then do is come in with, for example, the cold grey one and just blend it over the top, and that helps desaturate that colour slightly. So it gives you a much more natural looking lighter version of what you want without having to try and find a lighter version to match. So it's very dark underneath, so we can get away with putting good couple of layers, in fact 3 or 4. I don't even think we're going to need, might need a tiny smidge of black on there, or I could just come in with the dark sepia, but I think for today I'm just going to keep it simple. Beak probably isn't going to make much sense until we start working on the feather area. It is amazing how much detail you can get in a small space. TikTok's an enigma, and I have been blown away by the response I have had on TikTok, and it's amazing actually. I've had a couple of videos on there, then I deleted the app, and then 4 days ago I uploaded the app again because a friend of mine, we tend to chit and chat about Instagram and stats and trying to get things going and all sorts of things. Yes, it's an ideal way of doing it. So if you see the same tone but a lighter version, then just go over with your ivory or your buff titanium buff, whatever way around. But one of my videos went viral really quickly, and then the other video, which I actually uploaded the next day or the day later, overtook that, and we're now at nearly 85,000 views. And in the space of 4 days, I have several thousand followers. So it's quite fun. And you have to do your videos very differently. So it's not like YouTube whatsoever. It's like a more fun version, a younger version of Instagram, I suppose, to a point. But it's all videos, none of it's static images. So it's, yeah, something to get used to. Right, I've just realised, I know I'm being really fussy, but the bottom of his beak actually comes down a little bit. It's quite rounded. So I want to add that in because I'm a fuss pot. And I'm probably going to darken that top section a little bit more as well. That's quite a dead stop there, so I'm going to draw that in and erase little bit here, and I'll sort that shadow out when we come to add the feathers. Actually, I think no, it's because I haven't drawn it in, so that needs to come right down. Roughly there, I think that's not high and low enough. Bear with me, sorry. I'm just trying to look where his eye is. I think that needs moving forward. And that beak needs to come down. I think his beak's just very slightly in the wrong place. I don't think it's going to make a massive difference, but still. It's going to niggle on me. And then this needs to stop up here. That's better. So I'm just going to do a sweep of colour just to get some down. It's just another app. It's a video app for everyone. But it's not like YouTube, it's not like Instagram, it's an entity all to itself, really. I am on there if you want to come and find me, but actually now is a good time to explain while I've got you all here. I'm not suggesting you go and get it, but I'm just explaining for those who were aware of me posting about my call to California a little while ago. That was in fact to do with something a bit similar to TikTok, and it's a new video platform that is out, and they invited me to become a paid creator. So that's what the call was about, because I wanted to find out a bit more information before I signed up to anything. And the app is called Firework TV. So yeah, that's been quite interesting as well, actually. It's all been quite a steep learning curve, actually, but I was stoked when they invited me to come over. So we're really orange, as you can see for the minute, and we're a very odd orange, which is why we need to bring the ochre in, because the ochre has that browner colour in there that helps change the colour a bit. So you'll see once I start going over with this, that actually this gives it a much more of a natural colour rather than it being this slap bang in your face bright orange. Sorry, I'm aware my hand keeps hiding that light. I'm hoping to buy the new light this month that I mentioned in the studio tour. If you haven't watched that yet, that is up already. See my nice stand here behind me. Pretty much. So Firework is a video app where the videos are no longer than 30 seconds. So they're a maximum of 30 seconds. And Firework is an app that is dedicated to sharing content rather than trying to get views or likes or be favorites or be famous or anything like that. It's not about that. So you're not allowed to comment, you are not allowed to favorite, you are only allowed to repost. So it's all about sharing the reach of other content providers, creators, whatever you want to call it. Yes, it's all about sharing, and I have a specific community chat on there which is open to anybody that follows me on Firework, and it means that you can come and say hello, and at some point I will be doing Firework exclusive videos, so there'll be loads of stuff on there. So I'm just going to layer up. I've done my ochre. I'm now going to go back with my light cadmium red. I'm not going to blend too hard on the edges because I need to blend that out into the brown, so I'm not going to go too strong adding the colour there. I'm just going to keep it light layers for the minute, and I'm just going to keep alternating between the two. It's going to look flat for a very, very long time, so it's just a case of keep going. Those of you that followed my Patreon, especially if you're watching the new parrot one, you'll see that actually it looks flat for an extremely long time, and then all of a sudden it's just bam, there it is. So this is where I'm going to need to bring the umber in. So somebody will look at the umber and go, wow, that's a really dark colour, why are you bringing that in? But actually, once you've put all these layers in underneath, the pencils on the top don't come out as dark as you think they're going to. So you can pick up, it looks really orange through the camera. It's not that orange. So I need to sharpen my, just about fit in there. So this is the burnt umber. Is it burnt umber or raw umber? God, no, I can't remember. 280. I can't even find you. No, it's the burnt ochre then. Yeah, it is the burnt ochre. So we need to pick out the little patches in here, which are much darker. So if I show you in comparison, so on a fresh piece of paper, that is how dark the burnt umber is. But when you start applying it on top of colours that you've already laid down, you don't tend to come out that dark, so you don't need to worry too much. It's got what looks like sort of little speckles and things. I could probably layer the burnt umber under here and then blend it out with the grey. It's more grey this side actually, so that sort of comes down in that direction. So we'll carry on. I think I'm going to have to bring in my Caput Mortem as well. This is just standard Caput Mortem, it's not Caput Mortem Violet. Again, I'm just going to glaze over the top. Okay, so as we come down here at the front where you've got the light hitting, he has a much more lighter tone and it's much yellower. So I'm just going to use the cadmium yellow. The cadmium yellow is to give it more of a yellow hint. Then, just to be a pain, I will come in with the ivory just to dull that down slightly, but without losing the brightness of it. I cannot believe how that colour looks through my monitor. I don't know what it looks like through yours, but it's almost a bit too strong. But it really is not that colour, so that's really annoying. Okay, so got the burnt ochre. And then we're going to go over, if I zoom out it might sort that colour out a bit. If I zoom out, yeah, it looks really orange. I think my white balance is totally off. That's better. It is really looking at those sorts of things to capture the colour, because when I look at it I can see actually there is quite a lot of yellow in the front. So if I bring it over, I don't know how well you're going to see this, but you can see on the front here that he has these yellow tones. So this is what we're doing at the moment, all this detail in here. Now of course, because you can't see it that well on the reference, it's probably hard to visualise, but hi Emily. So again, we can just now bring in that ivory a little bit. Just want to mute a couple of the bits down. Dropping that straight on my work is not a good idea. So I'm toning the whole lot down now with my my warm grey too. If anyone remembers my colour theory video, you'll understand what I mean by toning down. There's this real want to make him really, really punchy in the colours, but I don't want him to look ridiculous either, so I'm trying to be good and not turn him into this very strange looking bird. Okay, I'm going to get my slice tool because there's certain little white areas in there that I just want to bring out a little bit more. Hi, thank you. So back of the slice tool. There's not many, but I just want to catch out a couple. This will all make a bit more sense once we get this area done. That's probably about it actually. Clean that beak area out in there too. Then I can get that. I don't know why I'm being so picky about detail, because I didn't want to be. Nice. It's nice that you offer them up. Okay, so we're going to be working a bit more with burnt umber this time, but I don't want to go in too heavy too quickly, so we can start using the burnt umber to just bring a bit more shape into the front feathers. So we're much more rounded at the top of the eye here, but we'll do that by bringing those shadows in from behind. And then he actually looks quite cold grey there. I'm wondering if potentially we could get away with cold grey 4 or 5. Cold grey 4. Yeah, cold grey 4. Need a pencil extender. What did I do with them? He's got a little bit of cold grey on the top of his head. Again, I know I'm being fussy. Just going to blend that out. Oh, that makes a stunning robin feather colour actually. Oh yes. Okay, so a couple of the orange feathers here need to come up a little bit. Let's see what I can erase actually first. So these need to come up into that a little bit more. There we go. And although it's not highlighted, I actually really like the pale effect, so I'm actually going to put in some little highlights that aren't actually there because it's artistic license and I'm allowed to do what I like. Okay, I need to repoint his eye. There we go. A cannon? Wow. I used to offer up, I think the account's still live actually, on DeviantArt. I do actually think it's still live. I've got quite a few stock photos on there I offered up. So again, I'm just going to repeat the colour pattern of the burnt ochre. I had to design a robin once flat. Imagine doing that, and it was for a project for fabric robin. So she got what I had drawn printed onto fabric and then turned it into 3D birds. They all worked out really, really well. We did a kingfisher, we did a robin, we did a, oh, what did we do? A finch? I think we did a finch. Okay, so the pattern then was the burnt umber. If you're new to watching, please don't be scared to come and ask any questions. I'm more than happy to answer what I can. Okay, now we're going to go over with the grey, and then we'll see how many times we need to lay it. So I'm just going to zoom you out a bit, as I'm going to have to keep turning the paper. The reason I turn the paper, because somebody asked, can you stop turning the paper, please? No, I can't, because it stops me smudging my work. Right, now this I know I can come all the way down, because that's pretty much the colour of his body in that area. Oh, quite excited to see when my Christmas cards come through. I can't wait to see what they've printed like. I'm really, really excited. I'm so happy with the designs. I was looking, I considered selling them at Stonham, but I don't know. I really like the stag, and I think if I sold them, I'd have to sell them as a set anyway. I don't think they'd look quite right if I sold them separately. So okay, so we're going to layer again, but I'm going to go in with the burnt umber instead of ideally. I need to change my pencil position, because I've followed the shape of his head rather than the direction of the feathers, which is a big no-no. So I'm just going to start altering the pencil lines now to start more in this shape, or the direction, should I say. To be honest, part of the reason why I picked this one is because there's not a mass amount of details in the feathers, and after starting the parrot tutorial for Patreon, yeah, that's enough feathers to last me November. Right, now I'm going to bring in the shape where it sort of tapers in and tapers out again, so it's not just this simple curve. And we actually have some yellowing of the feathers, and I'm purposely putting the yellow stripe on top without worrying because they are very muddy looking. So I've said it before, don't worry too much. I'll fix them a bit more as we go. I'd say there. That is why I support Bonnita on Patreon, apart from her being awesome, of course, thank you very much, is because Bonnita answered my questions and helped me loads. Ah, thanks. I second that, Rob. I wouldn't be achieving what I am without Bonnita. Thanks, guys. Loves ya. Okay, I'm going to get soppy here now. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Sounded like Queen then, didn't it? I'm not going to get all deep and meaningful for long, but I don't have a massive support network, and being able to do my art is my way of coping with things. And I have, not as stressful as others, but it's not irrelevant. I have a pretty stressful life, especially with Amelie, my doppelganger. And if I didn't have you guys, I'd be in a mess, to be perfectly honest, because you always get me out of my funk. You're always there to listen. I have my arty family with me all the time, no matter where I go. If I need anybody, you're on the end of my phone and I can reach any of you. And yeah, I love you all. I just wish I could give you more right now, but time doesn't allow that. I'm trying really hard not to be grated on the fact that I can see paper through my work, and it's annoying me. Okay, I'm going to lightly go over even where I've done the yellow, because we need to tone that yellow down. Go away, Bixby. Lost my reference now, there we go. Blending up over onto the brown area, because we do start getting in that grey into that area as well. We need to make it a bit stronger. I don't think, would the Caput Mortem do it? It probably could actually. I don't think. Possibly the parrot, but I might eat my words here because I have yet to do a portrait of any kind that doesn't require caput mortuum. It's bonkers. Chilling in my bath and watching your live feed. Well, oh, that sounds heavenly. Actually, you need a glass of wine or a bit of whiskey while you're at it. Actually, that would make it perfect. Oh, bless you, Joanne. Yeah, don't go electrocuting yourself. Although I constantly have my phone in my bath. You need to get one of those things that go over the bath, don't you? Like one of those tray things. Remember them? The old 1970s and 80s? The old horrible plastic things that we used to have. Yeah, exactly. Exactly that, Pam. I think that's made it stronger. I think what I want to do is I want to put another coating of umber over the top. Because one, I can see paper through and it's actually doing my head in. And two, it just needs a bit more hue put back into it. So again, if you are new to watch me, I do have a group on Facebook called Bonnita Doodles Art Share. So if you are a budding artist, or you're an artist looking for advice, or you're just looking at arty things, you just enjoy arty company, come and find us in the group. The link is in the description. Just making his head a bit more uneven because he is actually uneven, and I've made him pretty solid and rounded, and he's not. He's sort of got little lumps and bumps in there. I think I'm going to need to bring in the Payne's Grey, you know. Let me see if... Actually, dark sepia will do the job. Oh, I'm getting hot. I can't believe I'm getting hot. Oh, I bet that was a big sigh of relief. That's great news. Oh, it sounds like it's starting to tip down with rain again out there. Right, we are going to adjust this bit out here. There's not enough on there to worry about the knife, so we'll just extend with the eraser. There we go. So I'm using the dark sepia now. So I said I was going to keep it simple, but actually we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pencils down now, 11 different colours. I like that dark. Oh, look, he's got some real nice colours happening, hasn't he? think so far. I think we need to not mute down, whatever the word is. Haha. Okay. Just add another colour in. I probably don't need, to be perfectly honest. No, I can't actually spell warm grey 6. There we go. So I'm using the warm grey 6 for the shadows, I think, in this area. And then I'm just simply going to get my warm grey 2, and then we can blend. That line's too harsh. There we go. Bear with me 2 seconds. Coffee Man has text and I always need to check in case. No, everything's fine. Okay, so we're going to sweep again over his chest. Let's eliminate some of these squeaky. Oh, use your smaller one, bigger one even. Eliminate some of those lines. Okay. Guess who still hasn't sorted her glasses out? So I'm really struggling to read your dagnammit, read your comments. Oh, nothing more irritating than eraser fallout. It's actually one of the worst culprits for marking my paper. Oh, I'll have to do for now. Okay. Nobody's asked any questions. You're going to be squinting. Rob, remind me to send you a picture of the one I made, because I'm actually happy to give you the design and it works perfectly. And I don't know how much it will cost you in materials, but it's quite a basic setup. But I designed it to store my overstock. Did you see the studio tour video? It's the one where I store my overstock. So if you want the plans for that, you're more than welcome. I know everyone likes their drawers and that, but people are willing to pay if they're really well made. So don't discount anything yet, young man. Oh, it's so nice being in here when it's raining. I've got a really itchy knee. I'm probably going to do, if my head can take it, probably going to do another hour. I reckons. Ooh, he's got a lovely big robin tummy, hasn't he? I've come right down here and I shouldn't have. I was getting a little bit excited there. That stops around here and then we go up and then down again. Rob, if only you knew, honestly. If I played the video, I give credit where credit's due, don't get me wrong. We had a lot of confused coffee man moments because he couldn't quite get his head round things. But we got there in the end. I had to draw out the plans because he couldn't quite... He's not one that can envisage very easily. He has to see something done before he can picture it, and that was the trouble we were having. I had this image in my mind, and we had the plans, which were stupid tiny, so they wouldn't have been any good. So as I was going through it and trying to work all the measurements and things out, he was getting so confused, bless him. So we got there in the end. And the cat bit him too, so that was quite funny. I'd like to have added more in there, but all the bits that I purposely wanted to keep in, where the microphone wasn't plugged in, it didn't record any of the sound, so I couldn't keep any of that in, which was really annoying. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Carol. So much better than my attempt. I haven't seen your attempt at a robin. Why have you not shared it in the group? And don't say such things. Everyone loved your puffin. I really should go in the other direction, but as his feathers pretty much go in that direction, I'm not hugely worried about changing it. I've noticed the way I hold my pencil changes a lot lately. It's very strange. Never done a robin before in pencils. I've only ever done them in watercolour, so it's a new experience. Okay, so I'm just going to draw in some feather direction now so I don't confuse myself later on, which, let's be fair, won't be hard at the moment. Got a raging headache going on. I've been fine all day. I don't think it's because I've had to put these LEDs on and they're right in my face, so I really need to get my arse in gear and get them changed over, because I do think that having these LEDs literally right here is what's drying my eyes out and giving me the headaches. I was going to comment as a joke, do you have enough markers? Then you said that you still need some more. Do I have enough markers? Rob, that's like me asking you if you have enough pencils. What a daft thing to say. No, I don't have enough markers. You can never have enough. Mwahaha. I have a massive surprise coming for you guys, by the way. Massive surprise. And it's probably the most massive thing I have ever done, and I cannot say a single word about it. I don't know when. I don't know even when I can say anything, but for me, it's huge, and I'm really proud, and it's something I've dreamt of for an extremely long time. Hi, Georgina. Yeah, I'm absolutely chuffed to bits, and I've just realised all you're looking at is the back of my camera screen here. So yeah, I'm here somewhere. Hi. Yeah, I'm really excited to be able to share it with you when I can. But yeah, I'm really, really excited, and it's huge. So excited. Okay. Do you know what I've realised? I haven't done any shares. What a numpty. Let me just do a quick one on my page in the last hour that we're going to be going. Sorry guys, that's going to be really annoying. Oh dear. One more to do. I can't believe I forgot that. Oh God. That's done. Oh, thanks. Love you guys. Oh, don't say that, Erica. I can't look yet. Can I just say, right, that every single one of you, including me, has their own unique way of drawing. And I've said this to Carol before, and I don't think Carol believes me. So let's have some positivity going on this live feed. Let's have some real positive, no negatives, no I'm not as good as that, or I don't think I can draw as good as that, or your attempt's far better than my attempt. We're going to have none of that, because Carol has a really unique way of drawing, and I actually think it's beautiful, and I think the way that Carol does it is quite traditional. And when I see Carol's stuff, it makes me thinks about, good English there, when you get those old vintage like botanical style books, or the old posters about, I don't know, the old animals and things like that. I'm trying to, I don't know, the animal version of the old botanical drawings. Anyway, I don't think Carol gives herself enough credit actually for how beautiful her drawings are. So I'm telling you off now, Carol, don't keep doing it, because you're really, really good. No, Rob, stop that now. You don't have to freehand it. I only freehanded it today because it's quite a basic shape. I mean, watch from the very beginning and you'll see the shapes that I draw. So there's no reason why you can't freehand it. So, but don't feel you have to freehand it. You can do trace down, you can do gridding. It really doesn't matter. I've realised I've put that probably too far down. I have. It needs to come up here a bit. But don't keep discounting yourself as artists, because it's sorry, my head's going. It's a really bad way to put yourself in that position, and I'm guilty of it, don't get me wrong. And in fact, I did it a couple of weeks ago, and you should have heard me talking to Coffee Man. I was constantly comparing myself to a couple of other YouTubers, and the frustrating thing for me at the moment is my watch time isn't growing as quick as I'd like it to, but I don't have the time these other YouTubers have to do all the types of videos that they do. And And I'm giving as much as I can give without burning myself out. And I have to praise myself for that, as well as you have to praise yourself for your abilities that you're capable of doing now. Because if you think about last year, you wouldn't have been able to do what you're doing now if you didn't make a start last year. So give yourself some credit, guys. Pat on the back. A realist. Yeah, but see, I could say that, mate, but nah. You cannot say you cannot do something unless you have tried. You wouldn't say to nieces, nephews, daughters, sons, mothers, fathers, whatever, that you can't do something. You'd say, give it a go. And then if you can't do it, fair enough. But you don't know what you're capable of doing unless you try it. So there. The teachings of Bonnita Moby. How are you getting on with that massive portrait, Rob? Ah. It's not a bad thing to be self-critical, but there's self-critical and then there's criticism that's harmful. And until you start to have a little bit of belief in yourself, you're never going to improve. And that's the God's honest truth of it. If you are constantly doubting your abilities, you're never going to push yourself further. I have a very determined personality, and I don't let anything defeat me unless I've given it my absolute 100% best. And if I fail the first time, I will try again. If I fail the second time, I will try again. If I fail the fourth or fifth, then I might think to myself, actually, I might not be cut out for this. And I have done that in the past. So you have to, we're all guilty of self-criticism, but there's criticism, oh, I'm really bad, I'm really crap, I can't draw, I'm no good at that, I can't even think about trying that. That's not criticism. That is just being stubborn and bloody minded and not even giving it a go. Criticism is, I really didn't do well on that eye that time round. Maybe if I try it this way next time, actually I might do a better job. Or I didn't like the way I applied the pencil on this portrait. Maybe if I try a different technique next time, it might work a bit better. That is criticism. So there's a big difference. I love drawing branches. There's a really, really quick way of drawing branches, and I must do a YouTube tutorial on it because it works effectively every time. Well, we'll do the second part of this next week, and we'll do a branch that he's standing on, so. Ah, and have you gifted it yet, or is it a Christmas present? Right, I need to start giving some shape to this body now, as he's very flat. See, when I was doing the comparing a couple of weeks ago and I was getting really quite upset over it and thinking I'm never going to get there, I wasn't being critical. I was being downright blooming, throwing my toys out the pram because I felt I should be where they are now, and that's not the case because I started a lot later and my YouTube format is quite different, and not everybody can sit there through my videos, which I appreciate. But eventually, and hopefully when my equipment improves and my time improves, then I can give you more of that type of thing. So Yeah, we just need to stop being so hard on ourselves. There's no need for it. Until I'm having a positive day today. You wait till tomorrow, I'll wake up and go, well, bad day today. So remind myself, you need to remind me when I'm in a mood next week or tomorrow or whenever. I've had to swallow a lot of pride lately and realised that maybe I am doing things wrong and in the wrong way. And it's been a big, big learning curve. Surprisingly, stop it. Not only that, you need to walk away sometimes. I think we get so engrossed in what we're doing that we forget to step back. And actually stepping back can have a massive effect on what we see when we come back to the drawing board. You know, it's a coined term for a reason. I'm just blending over with the ivory. You can probably hear I am putting a little bit more pressure than I would normally. And that's because I just want to smush the colour around a bit, really. Fill some gaps. Get it a bit lighter. And then I'm probably going to go over with a bit of burnt umber. Ochre, even. Ah, see, they're fun to do, aren't they? They're such a cool texture. I mean, for those of you that remember me doing the sloths on the live feed, how many of you actually remember me redoing the entire blooming thing because of that branch? And I knew then and there, and I was saying to you guys on the live feed, I didn't like it, I wasn't happy with it. You know, I wasn't being critical, but I knew that I wasn't happy with the way that it was turning out. And as soon as I started changing that branch again, or the trunk, as it was an entire tree trunk, it just turned that image around, and it massive improvement. Purposely being rough in these areas for a reason, because as I say, there's not a huge amount of feather detail in the reference picture, but I want to add some more, so that's what I'm doing. Yes, please. Yeah, it'd be nice to see. Right, try and get in some shape now. So I'm going to put the orange mainly in where we need some shape, and then I can blend it all out again and see where we're at. It did come off quite easy actually, didn't it? I was quite impressed myself. Yeah, once you get past the top layers, as long as your underlayers aren't pressed down too hard, you can get rid of quite a lot. Somebody's put a bid on the portrait. How cool's that? So the sloth has a new home. And we've raised a minimum of 75 quid for the survive extinction, whatever you want to call it, the sketch for survival. So I'm really, really pleased. I'd love to know who buys it. I know you probably can't, but it'd be nice to know who did. Right, just need to take some of that red sting out of it that's in there. So I'm adding the yellow over the top because it gives it a little bit more of an oranger tone, but it just, I'm finding, to be honest, I'm lazy and I couldn't be bothered to find an appropriate pencil, but it works. I should have found an orange, but I suppose this shows you actually how you can blend. I like that hit of yellow actually. I think it looks rather nice. So we're going to spend a little bit of time darkening areas and getting it all how we want it to look. So it's still going to look odd for a while. Hi. You alright? How you doing? Hey Wendy. Ah, it's nice to see you. It's been too bloody long. Where you been? All these people with lives doing things. Right, I am actually going to have to bring in either the warm grey, which I don't really want to do because I think he's really lovely and vivid. But he's a bit too bright. And I think if I bring in the umber, I think it's just, let's just try it. I don't know. The Caput Mortem's just not quite cutting it. Maybe the umber will be alright because the umber's got quite a yellowy. Let's just go with the flow, see what happens. My knee won't stop itching, I got an itchy knee. It's very annoying. Have I got any World of Warcraft people watching right now? I was really naughty and had the morning off with Coffee Man, and it's the 15th anniversary of Warcraft, and yeah, that's how long I've been playing it. We went and did the dungeons to get the new mount, and it was awesome. That is true, Wendy, that is true. I will take your name off the naughty step. My robin turned out to have a peachy coloured breast, which wasn't quite what I intended, but I couldn't seem to pull it back. Ah, oh, well, I'll have a look. He's a cutie little robin. If I build up these bits around here, then I can... You need to build up certain areas around. You can't always finish a section until you've moved on to the next section. So I still want to make him a bit redder, a bit more oranger. So I will darken some tones, but probably not until I get... I'm pretty much probably just going to fill the bottom of him so I can figure out just how much darker I need to go, because I don't want to go too dark and then not be able to bring the lightness back. So this comes out to about here, and then we start going to quite a creamy yellowy tone on his bum. Got quite a lot done in an hour and a half. I'm quite impressed. Well, you know, you're a busy lady, Wendy, so I can't keep telling you off. I think the feathers have gone slightly in the wrong direction on these, so I'm going to try and bring it back with the grey. And then as we work the orange and the red through, hopefully it will go in the direction it's supposed to be going in. And we need to get some umber in there. So Wendy and Kirsty, as you would have missed the announcement of a non-announcement earlier, basically there's something quite massive happening, and I don't know when it's all going to come to fruition as such. Of course I will let you guys know as soon as I'm allowed to say anything, but it's really blooming exciting. Where's me? Oh, right in front of me. Just getting a bit of shadow detail in here, as he does have quite a bit. I should have done them a bit shorter really, but let's do some short ones now. Oh, that's really made that pop. That's nice. That's what you want when I bang on about contrasts on my tutorials. That is what you want. That contrast between these two has really made that come to the forward. I don't know whether that's just, I don't know actually why I do. I don't know if it's a bad thing or a good thing actually either. I guess I try not to be too constrained. I think when you draw slowly, you can be very precise and you end up drawing, I can't even do it properly, you end up drawing strokes that are very even and in place and static, whereas I think when you draw quickly, you get to be a lot more freer and your motion's freer, so I don't know whether it's that or not. I'm not allowed to say anything. My lips have to be still. But it's exciting. But my muse will be grinning from ear to ear, I know that much. Okay, so we know that we can darken in here now. And then I'm going to bend over a bit to try and make those patches look a bit less static. They need to be a lot softer. Oops, chucking everything now, so let's just blend over the whole thing. I'll bring a little bit of a highlight in here. If it's not enough, then I'll bring the slice tool in. Let's get a point on that. I'm already on the naughty step. Okay, there we go. So we've got a bit more blendability in there. So we'll just keep doing that till we soften the transition. He's starting to really come on, isn't he? He's starting to look really, really cute. Oh, and Wendy, while I have you here, because I don't know how cream crackered I'm going to be after this, but my fireworks going quite well actually, so I'm really pleased with that. Okay, right, now we're going to keep carrying on the shaping. I'm really loving the earthy colours that are going on. I was wondering when you would brush off the little black spot, then I realised it was a... Oh, I do that all the time, especially when I'm cleaning up my artwork. Oh, I remember how quickly you drew that Spider-Man looking person. Deadpool. Yeah, I still haven't done it. I actually have planned to do a Venom and Brock picture. To when I hang the Deadpool one up, I want the Venom and Brock looking at each other, so I'm going to work on that, which I'll probably do over a live feed because that'll be quite fun. Oh, there's so much love going on tonight. Thank you, my lovely. You too. It's much softer in there now. Okay, I'm quite tempted to find a darker red. Let's try the deep scarlet. It might be too red, but I have quite a lot of colour underneath, so we might get away with it. Oh, I'm loving that. Honestly, I'm sitting there cleaning up my artwork ready for the printers, and I'm going, what's that? Why can't I erase it out of the way? And then I realised that it's something on my monitor. There is a black spot there though, and one there, and one there. Sorry. It's I don't know, I suppose it can be a bit confusing when you first go on there. So let me give you the lowdown. I've given most people on the feed a lowdown already, so apologies for those who've already heard this, but if there's anybody watching now that wasn't here earlier. So Firework is a new app. It has a patent. In fact, I'm going to show you because it has patent technology which no one else has, and it's actually brilliant. So if I go onto my Firework, so this is what the app looks like. Let me turn that down because I don't want any copyright stuff going on. So this is all my notifications. You don't need to know any of that, but these are just people that have reposted it and followed. And in here is my community, and this is all the guys that have come and joined the group and come and said hello and sharing their artwork. And yeah, just it's growing slowly, so if you do come on, make sure you come and hit the community, come and hit the community button, because it'd be nice to have you there. Now, they are purely 30-second videos. You can have less than that, but the maximum is 30-second videos. So for example, here's one that actually originally I did for TikTok, but I put on here as well. And I did half a drawing of Venom, but I haven't finished it. Ah, you got to finish it. So these are the sorts of videos that you'll find on there, but it's not just art, it's everything. So there's some very, very huge YouTubers on here as well. So when you go on, this is the technology. So your videos stay static, but you turn your phone, it's so weird. If you turn your phone, it moves. He's done something to his video, so let me find another one. There. So it just shows how much wobble I've got going on my hand at the minute. Okay, stop wobbling, Bonnita. Look, it thinks. So you can view them in any which way you want to, and it's amazing. And they're the only ones I believe that hold this technology. So that's my seahorse, and then you rotate to view the whole thing. So yeah, it's really, really good. So you'll find tutorials, you'll find stupid people on there, models, quite a lot of that, makeup tutorials, loads of art stuff. Yeah. But yeah, there's quite a few like backpackers and things that go on there, because obviously they can do that 360 turn. Yeah, it's just very, very different. You won't, my video got taken down now because I've shown a pair of them on my stupid video. Annoying. You can, if you hold down a video, you can actually press on there that you don't want to see any more videos like that, which I do quite often, and then it eliminates or shows you less of those types of videos. So if you're on TikTok or YouTube, or you might even see them when they roll through Facebook, it's all that sort of video. Like 5-minute crafts is on there, and Troom and all stuff like that. But there's also lots of talented people on there as well, like me. Okay, I'm really tempted to bring the luminance in at this stage. I thought you might, Rob. That was just for you, that was. Yeah, I'm going to bring the luminance in. And I'm just going to pick out some of what I want to be a little bit brighter. That's Rob joining now. Firework, download. I can see it, I can hear you. Oh, look at his little feathery chest. He's looking all puffed up and lovely. I tell you what, if I got paid on TikTok, I'd be rich by now. But they don't have such a thing, so that's a shame. Don't keep picking that one up, that's no good. By the way, nobody has to go and download it just to support me. I'm just making you aware that that's what it is. Plus, it's in my contract to actually let you know about it. But I really like it because I liked I like the turning ability. I think it's really, really cool. Very different to all the other apps. I'm being very rough on here because you can actually see quite a lot of feather detail in this particular area, so that is why I'm doing the up down motion, because it saves me having to put in extra information, because doing that motion does it for me. There is, I believe, glass blowing. There's loads of resin stuff. There's loads of polymer clay, which I love. So I love watching the polymer clay videos. I read that one last. Sorry, all I saw was I loved that video. That was the first one I saw. So you notice how I'm just smudging over the feathers. I'm not even bothered about keeping them clean and pristine because that is not how the reference picture is. So again, repeating myself, I apologise, but it's good to repeat yourself. Don't worry about certain things going muddy because actually sometimes that's how it is in nature. So it's not a problem. Oh, that you'll be, as I say, if you don't like a video, just hold your finger down on it. I think it's hold your finger down and it comes up with like a broken heart and you just click on that. But you can follow, I think there's loads of acrylic pouring, resin, there's baking on there as well. There's loads of stuff. There's a lot of dancing on there as well. It's actually a really good platform for dancers because of the rotation ability. Okay, we need the light grey in here. How are we doing? Right, 10 minutes. Just blending over while I have it in my hand. Soften some of the lines. So I was starting to pack some stuff up for Stonham yesterday, and weird packing up all my originals to sell. I haven't done that since the exhibition, so it's going to be very odd seeing everything out and hanging. Well, if you do download it, just make sure you come and join the communities. It'd be nice to have you there. There will be some videos that you would have seen before, but there'll be others as well. And I'm making basically content that is just for firework for the future. So keep your eyes peeled. Right, you'll see now I can literally glaze over this lighter area because where I've put the light layer down of the cold grey 1, as I said earlier in the live, it saves, doesn't save, it reduces the amount of pigment that you can get down. So each layer you put on, the less pigment you can get down because of course you build up that wax layering. So it's just a really good way of adding natural highlights, is just by making sure you get enough of your light layer down first and then working dark over the top, and then it just means that it's not quite so opaque. Thank you. I need to try it but got a feeling I will need to take over my husband's workshop as it looks far too messy for a house job. Firework. It's orange and it's basically like a Cinecam for its logo. As I say, the whole point of it is that you repost people's videos, so you increase everybody's reach, basically. So it's not about likes or popularity or anything, which is what I loved about it. I loved that whole idea that you could only repost, you can't comment, you can't favourite, you can't do anything like that. You can only repost. And it takes away that whole stigma of counting numbers and all that sort of stuff. So I've done resin pouring in my kitchen, so you'll be amazed what you can do in a small space. I can show you some of my resin pours if you, well, they're not resin pours, they're acrylic pours. But I'm coming to a natural stop here, so I might go and grab my canvases if any of you guys are interested in looking at them. Tell you what, you stare at him, I'll go get them. I need to move that out of the way anyway. And you'll hear a big oof, because my box is quite heavy that I've got to get down, so. Oh yeah, the resin, yeah. Didn't think about that. Well, as a graphic designer for so many years, Rob, send it over and I shall let you know from a professional point of view. Okay, I have to wear a mask when I do any resin, even the small type, because it actually gives me really bad pain in my chest, because it does stink. Okay, so say bye-bye, Robin, for the moment, and we'll have a look. So this is one of them, and this is actually done with Pebeo. You can hear it. Bit of ASMR going on here. So it's really just basic texture here, and then this is the glass paint, which dries, you can hear, dries really, really hard. But I quite liked that one. It actually hangs up in my office underneath my light switch. This isn't acrylic, it's actually alcohol, which I quite like. This is the other alcohol one I did. I really like this one, but let me get rid of the reference now, as we don't need that up. Make me a bit smaller. So this was the second one I did, which I really love, and it's got loads of veining and things on there, but I'm actually going to go over this and redo it because I have the Jacquard paints now, the Pinata. So if you're going to do it, Wendy, the Pinata ones, these are really, really good for the gold veining effect that you get. So they're the ones to use. This is another one of my, just reminds me of islands, but it's, I don't really, there, it's really sparkly. It sort of went wrong, but I like it. This went completely wrong, but I still really like it. But we've decided that we can see horses. Some sort of weird horse thing going on. But again, I quite liked that. My favourite one, I don't know where it's gone. Ah, here it is. This one. This is my favourite. Because I love this. This reminds me of looking at glaciers. The North Pole, South Pole, whatever. That's what it reminds me of. I expect to see a panda. Oh dear, if I saw a panda in the North or the South Pole, I would be extremely worried. I expect to see a polar bear jumping across some of these, and some seals and some penguins. But I really like that one. I don't know whether to take these to Stonham with me to sell. I don't know that they're good enough. This is canvas board. It does bow. So what you need to do is, when it's dry, spray the back of your canvas board and then weight your canvas board down. But you have to wait until it's fully dry because they do curve your boards. Oh, that sounds like a nice combo. And this one got wrecked. I am thinking of doing an acrylic pot on a live, but I would need to set up in the kitchen, so I don't quite know how it's going to go yet. I'd have to set my camera up on my laptop, and my laptop's not very good, so... Yeah, I'll probably take a couple. I don't know where my really posh ones are. I don't know what I've done with them. Oh, there's one tucked in there. Honestly, if my head wasn't screwed on, I would have lost it by now. Oh, you've reminded me, actually, getting these out. Annoyingly, I don't know where the other big one is, because the other big one's actually really lush. I'm going to take him with me as well, I think. I think he can go. This is my favourite, because I love the colour combination, and you'll see actually the changes in my YouTube channel with my thumbnails, my end cards, my banner and everything else is actually starting to match all in with these colours. So yeah, it's funny that, but that's actually my favourite because I do love the colours. But I need to resin them. I love the cells, as they call them. It's very matte at the moment, and I want to get a good coating of resin on there, glitter resin as well. So that is my favourite. But yeah, I want to do a load more. I have got a load of canvases purposely to do it. So if I can set up somehow to be able to do it as a live feed in the office, even if I get out the extra table and do it on there, because the extra table's bigger and I don't want to ruin my office desk. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, guys, I'm sorry, Leslie. I am signing off now, my lovely. And just so you can see what we've been doing, we've been working on a little robin. So I've just realised I need to sort all that out. That's very, very stop-start there. I don't like that. Let's sort that out quickly now, because that'll grate on me. It still looks really stop-start. What's going on there? We need some dark going up in there, that's why. There we go. Anyway, as I was going to say, yeah, just send it over on Messenger. It's going to take me a few minutes to get myself settled. I need another drink. I need to turn all the electrics and everything off. So I might not respond straight away, but I will respond. I'll take a picture of him in the morning. It's no point in me doing it now. It's too dark. So yeah, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, whichever it may be, and I shall see you guys on the other side. Bye.